Hi there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you guys out there. I want to thank you for clicking on the link. Um, my name is Jim Pappas, and if you didn't already know, you got here by following one of the links that you either saw on one of my social media accounts over here, or you're just a tried and true dedicated fan, or you're a friend of mine who I made you click on this because I just kept harassing you over and over again. Needless to say, I appreciate you guys viewing, and I want to take a couple minutes here to bring you guys a new little episode with some revamped, touched up stuff. Over the course of the last few months in 2020, being a high school art teacher, we have kind of run into some huge obstacles and hurdles and speed bumps to try to get over. And being not only a fine arts teacher, but also a graphic design teacher as well, I thought that this would be a great opportunity for myself to kind of reach out and touch up and hone in on some of the skills that I have and create some content that not only practices what I preach to the students that take my courses, but also kind of allows me the freedom to work on my own personal work and deliver it to people out there in the social media world, and let them kind of take a look at it, see the process that goes through there, have an avenue to ask questions, give feedback, whatever it might be. So if you're visiting this for the first time, or you're visiting this for the 21st time, or the 101st time, it doesn't really matter the number, but I really appreciate it. And I look forward to trying to give you guys some cool content that you can waste a couple minutes with, and maybe even possibly learn something here. As you can see, some of the things have kind of gotten touched up and revamped a little bit, and that wasn't by accident. I'm in the process of sort of reorganizing, excuse me, some of my own personal curriculum that I teach at the high school, and in an effort to make sure that it's a little bit more cohesive and it all blends together. I've gone through and started to kind of help out the branding of all that information. So you'll probably notice that there's some things on the screen that look a little bit different. Maybe they look a little bit the same, but they're now kind of connected a little bit better. Regardless, it was just a goal of mine to make sure that this all sort of matched and synced up real nice. And what you're watching here is just, I guess, an experiment to see whether or not this actually goes through. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. Normally my videos usually lasted between 45 minutes and an hour, because while we were in school, that was one of the requirements of staff, that we needed to be available to our students for at least an hour. I don't think that these videos need to necessarily be that long, but maybe in the future I'll be producing some longer tutorial-based videos that go into that. But I wanted to take the next couple of minutes to show you guys exactly what I'm working on here. Matter of fact, I tried to do this in an earlier take to the video, and some issues kind of popped up. But this is a piece of artwork that I had featured actually on my social media account. If you subscribe to it, Mr. Pappas Teach, it was over there. I'm sorry, not Mr. Pappas Teach, just about my name, but it was over there on my social media accounts, hanging out. I started this earlier in the week, after kind of finishing all the John Wick movies, and I thought it would be really, really cool to maybe pair up John Wick with one of my favorite heroes, Batman, in a piece. And that's what we're working on. That's what I'm working on today. Give you guys sort of a little look-see here. Sorry about the camera in the way. I'm still kind of figuring out my office space right in here and trying to get some stuff sort of situated. We've got a couple boxes, and we are kind of moving things. It's all a work in progress, and by no means do I claim to be a professional or anything like that. But I wanted to give an opportunity to show you guys what I'm working on. So I will be kind of demonstrating for you guys today the halftone dot technique that you kind of see. It looks like little tiny dots that are printed on old school design posters, print media. And I'll be using some Deleter halftone dots. Deleter is just a brand that I found. I'm sure there's other ones. I ordered these online. I forget the website. I've had them for a long, long time, and I use them in a majority of my work. But they come, I think, one or two pieces per package, and there's a pretty decent assortment depending on what you have. I got the rest of them back over there. And they all kind of have um, a different pattern, but they're organized by this classification. I don't know if you guys can read that. There's a classification that apparently SE35 means something to people who are way smarter than me. But all I know is that the dots in this are placed a little bit closer together, giving much more gray appeal. Whereas some of the other ones, let me see if I can go grab those real quick. This one's going to be a little bit harder, but this one is a different number, I believe, I hope, as I try to pull this out. No, yeah, same number. Anyways, there's some other ones that have the dots either spaced out a little bit further apart, or the dots are bigger in size or smaller in size. The patterns are always different, but they come in these single sheets that you basically place over top of your artwork. I'll switch over to my overhead in a couple minutes. And you trace out your design, you cut it out, and you apply it just like a sticker. It's actually really, really cool. Really nice, to me, kind of a nice way to professionally finish your artwork if you're into that old school kind of print process look. So I'll kind of give you guys a little brief overview. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I was running into some sound issues a little earlier as I almost dropped my microphone here. Let me switch over to the overhead camera, swing that right in front of my face, and give you guys a better look at what we've got going here. So here's what I was working on a little bit earlier in a previous video. This is John Wick, the character. As you guys can see there he is holding his gun, which I don't really know what that gun is called, but I have some designs already in I guess imprinted or stuck on, applied already. And this just goes over right over the ink that I've already laid down. Um, and it's pretty simple to apply. You got to be a little bit careful with large areas like this large area here I have on Batman's cape. The paper itself is a bit brittle. I mean, it'll bend and form, but that's mainly because there's a backer page on this. The plastic itself, or the vellum, actually the vellum type surface here that I'm showing to the camera, is a bit brittle. So if you bend it a little bit too much, it actually snaps right apart. So sometimes working in really big areas like this, or even small areas, can be a little trying, a little bit more difficult. So I'm gonna come in here and I don't know. Let's see what fits on the camera the best. Let's get. I kind of want to work on Batman a bit. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna focus in here. Oh boy, focus in here on this leg area right here, and this should be pretty simple. I'm just gonna bring my piece in like this, and actually, you guys are watching. I place this piece over, and all I need to simply do is kind of trace out sort of a design where I'd like it to go. And then I can cut that out. Now, I don't recommend using scissors to do this because, again, if you're doing something that's a little bit more unique and it's got very specific cuts that you're trying to get, the scissors really don't lend itself very well to that. But when I was trying to set up for this video, I could not find my X-Acto knife, and the problem with that is I'm sure one of my little ones rearrange some stuff in the home office. So before I finish this, I'm going to have to try to locate my X-Acto knife so that I can get a little bit more intricate cuts here for what I'm working on. But for the time being, I think this will work pretty well. As you can see, it fits pretty nice over that area right there. Now, the more and more I look at this, I don't know if I really want that big of a chunk in there, so I think I'm gonna maybe make this a bit smaller. Let's see, maybe lower that a bit. Now, I will say sometimes the hardest part is kind of figuring out where you had that or how you wanted that to go in shape-wise. So I'm gonna try to bring it in and be as close as possible to what I had. And then basically it works. I don't know if you guys can see this. It works by having and peeling the backer board off. And this is just like a little sticker now that I can very carefully, because I don't want it to rip or snap, place over top. And I use just this creasing tool, paper creaser, just to kind of press down on some of those overlapping areas to make sure that it actually adhesives and actually sticks to the Bristol board itself. I don't want to scrape off too much of the ink that I put down there, but I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to bring in some more intricate cuts down there, but like I said, I only have scissors right now, and scissors aren't really the best way to use this, especially if you're looking for intricate cuts. Yeah, I think this material works really, really well. Swing the camera out of the way here. I like this stuff. I've been using it for a long time. I've had some successes with it. I've had some hiccups, but for this piece, I really thought it would look really cool, considering the characters, considering the contrast between the good versus evil, but the vengeance idea that's always there to kind of keep that grittiness. And I thought this stuff would work really well. Now, as for a background, I'm still kind of playing around with a couple ideas. Backgrounds to me in my head look one way, or I think I've got it one way really good. And then I start to kind of carry out the idea, and I'm like, oh no, I don't really like that placement. And I don't know. I've got a couple ideas here, but hopefully over the course of the next few episodes or videos that you watch of this, I'll be working on this. You guys will get a chance to see, and I'll update you guys with some of this stuff. And please, if you guys are watching this, I look forward to hearing from you guys. I look forward to hearing, your comments, your criticisms, things that you guys want to see too, characters that you maybe want to see me draw or sketch out, or just, questions that you've got or want to ask. So please feel free to follow me on those social media links that are right there. My website, www.mrpapisteach.com, is always available. They'll be hosting these webisodes, if you want to call it that. Or you can head over to my YouTube page as well, Mr. Pappas Teach. Follow our Instagram and send me any feedback that you guys got. I'm really looking forward to this, even if it's only for one person, or hell, if it's even just for me. I'm really looking forward to doing this because it just keeps my digital skills up and it keeps my fine art skills going. So, I'm going to try to keep delivering stuff on a weekly basis. And, hopefully I'll be able to hear from some of you guys that are following me and give you guys an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, what's going on? I'd like to see this or something. I'm going to sign off from here. Try to keep these episodes a little bit short. Really not sure exactly what time frame works for everybody. But I will see you guys next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.